Paris. They call it the City of Light, but Paris is more than that. It's the heartbeat of art, fashion, romance, and dreams that never fade. From the majestic Eiffel Tower, piercing the clouds with pride, to the wide Champs-Élysées, where every street corner whispers elegance. Step inside the Louvre Museum, where centuries of genius live in every brushstroke, every sculpture, and the Mona Lisa smiles as if she knows the city's secrets. In the shadow of Notre-Dame Cathedral, history breathes. The bells, the stones, the stained glass. Each piece tells the story of Paris through time. And when the day ends, climb to the Sacré-Cœur Basilica in Montmartre. As the sun sets over the rooftops and the lights flicker to life, Paris feels eternal. Paris is not just a destination. It's a feeling, a story, a dream written in light. Subscribe to Touropedia, and let's keep exploring the world's most magical places together. The Eiffel Tower is a wrought iron lattice tower on the Champ de Mars in Paris, France. It is named after the engineer Gustave Eiffel, whose company designed and built the tower. It was constructed as the centerpiece of the 1889 World's Fair and to crown the centennial anniversary of the French Revolution. Although initially criticized by some of France's leading artists and intellectuals for its design, it has since become a global cultural icon of France and one of the most recognizable structures in the world. The tower is 330 meters tall. Its base is square, measuring 125 meters on each side. The tower has 3 levels for visitors, with restaurants on the first and second levels. The top level's upper platform is 276 m above the ground, the highest public observation deck in the European Union. Tickets can be purchased to ascend by stairs or lift to the first and second levels. The climb from ground level to the first level is over 300 steps, as is the climb from the first level to the second, making the entire ascent a 600-step climb. Although there is a staircase to the top level, it is usually accessible only by lift. On this top, third level is a private apartment built for Gustave Eiffel, who decorated it with furniture made by Jean Lachaise and invited friends such as Thomas Edison. The Avenue de Champs-Élysées is an avenue in the 8th arrondissement of Paris, France. The avenue is 1.9 kilometers long and 70 meters wide, running between the Place de la Concorde in the east and the Place Charles Delaware Gaulle in the west, where the Arc de Triomphe is located. It is known for its theaters, cafes, and luxury shops, as the finish of the Tour de France cycling race, and for its annual Bastille Day military parade. The Arc de Triomphe de l'Étoile, often simply called the Arc de Triomphe, is one of the most famous monuments in Paris, France. It is located at the western end of the Champs-Élysées, at the center of Place Charles de Gaulle, formerly known as Place de l'Étoile, named for the star-shaped configuration formed by the convergence of 12 radiating avenues. Commissioned to honor those who fought and died for France during the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars, the Arc bears the names of French victories and generals engraved on its inner and outer surfaces. Beneath its vault lies the tomb of the unknown soldier from World War I, marked by an eternal flame commemorating unidentified fallen soldiers. "96 battles are engraved on the inner facades, under the great arches. The names of 660 military leaders who served during the French First Republic and the First French Empire are engraved on the inner facades of the small arches. Underlined names signify those who died on the battlefield." The Louvre Museum is a national art museum in Paris, France, and one of the most famous museums in the world. The Louvre Museum is located inside the Louvre Palace, in the center of Paris, adjacent to the Tuileries Gardens. The two nearest metro stations are Louvre-Rivoli and Palais Royal Musée du Louvre, the latter having a direct underground access to the Carrousel du Louvre commercial mall. The museum is housed in the Louvre Palace. The building was redesigned and extended many times to form the present Louvre Palace. In 1682, Louis XIV chose the Palace of Versailles for his household, leaving the Louvre primarily as a place to display the royal collection. Before the Grand Louvre overhaul of the late 1980s and 1990s, the Louvre had several street-level entrances, most of which are now permanently closed. Since 1993, the museum's main entrance has been the underground space under the Louvre Pyramid, or Hall Napoleon, which can be accessed from the pyramid itself, from the underground Carrousel du Louvre, or for authorized visitors, from the Passage Richelieu connecting to the nearby Rue de Rivoli. The Musée du Louvre owns 615,797 objects, of which 482,943 are accessible online since March 24, 2021, and displays 35,000 works of art in 8 curatorial departments. The Louvre is home to one of the world's most extensive collections of art, including works from diverse cultures and time periods. Visitors can view iconic works like the Mona Lisa and the Winged Victory of Samothrace, as well as pieces from ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Greece, and Rome. The museum also features collections of decorative arts, Islamic art, and sculptures. Notre-Dame de Paris, meaning Cathedral of Our Lady of Paris, often referred to simply as Notre-Dame, is a medieval Catholic cathedral on the Isle de la Cite, an island in the River Seine. In the 4th arrondissement of Paris, France, it is the cathedral church of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Paris. The cathedral, dedicated to the Virgin Mary, Our Lady, is considered one of the finest examples of French Gothic architecture. It is a widely recognized symbol of both the city of Paris and the French nation. In the 19th century, the cathedral hosted the coronation of Napoleon and the funerals of many of the French Republic's presidents. On August 26, 1944, the liberation of Paris from German occupation was celebrated in Notre-Dame with the singing of the Magnificat. The Palace of Versailles is a former royal residence commissioned by King Louis XIV located in Versailles about 18 kilometers west of the city center of Paris. The palace is owned by the government of France and since 1995 has been managed, under the direction of the French Ministry of Culture, by the public establishment of the Palace, Museum and National Estate of Versailles. Napoleon, following his coronation as emperor, used the subsidiary palace Grand Trianon as a summer residence from 1810 to 1814, but did not use the main palace. Louis XIII built a hunting lodge at Versailles in 1623. His successor, Louis XIV, expanded the chateau into a palace that went through several expansions in phases from 1661 to 1715. It was a favorite residence for both kings, and in 1682, Louis XIV moved the seat of his court and government to Versailles, making the palace the de facto capital of France. The Palace of Versailles was key to Louis XIV politics, as an expression and concentration of French art and culture, and for the centralization of royal power. Louis XIV first used Versailles to promote himself with a series of nighttime festivals in its gardens in 1664, 1668, and 1674, the events of which were disseminated throughout Europe by print and engravings. Sacré-Cœur Basilica, and often simply Sacré-Cœur, is a Catholic church and minor basilica in Paris dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Sacré-Cœur Basilica is located at the summit of the Butte of Montmartre. From its dome 200 meters above the Seine, the basilica overlooks the entire city of Paris and its suburbs. It is the second most popular tourist destination in the capital after the Eiffel Tower. The overall style of the structure is a free interpretation of Romano-Byzantine architecture. This was an unusual architectural style at the time. The mosaic over the choir, entitled The Triumph of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, is the largest and most important work of art in the church. The mosaic is composed of 25,000 enameled and gilded pieces of ceramic and covers 475 square meters, making it one of the largest mosaics in the world. The central figure is Jesus Christ, dressed in white, with open arms offering his heart, decorated with gold. He is joined by his mother, the Virgin Mary, and by the Archangel Michael, the protector of the Church and of France. At his feet, kneeling, is Saint Joan of Arc offering him a crown. A figure of Pope Leo XIII offers a globe to Christ, symbolizing the world.